body. You'll definitely level technical ability first because you want to get that cyberware upgrade and perks that you do get from that line. Though secondarily, you probably will level body for the HP plus adrenaline rush. And then also if you're going to focus on blunt weapons first, then body will definitely become one of the early sort of level ups. But if you want to focus on the weapons a bit more, then you'll probably go down the cool line to get Deadeye and those handgun perks first, but that's sort of up to you. And you could, while you are leveling, right, go into assault rifles as an alternative because of the reflexes that we'll eventually get, but you typically level reflexes last. All your perks, technical ability perks, are the main ones you'll focus on initially, so all things cyber, and then going into license to chrome for the extra cyberware slot to skeleton, and ambidextrous for the extra slot to your hands. You can avoid build different as we're not using the cellular adapter cyberware for this build, and then grabbing everything else, plus obviously Edge Runner, because that's the critical part of this build, is that Fury Stay for that extra damage, crit chance, and crit damage, and it fits perfectly within this David build. I'm also grabbing all of the recharge and grenade skills here, like Pyromania, mostly to grab ticking time bomb, so when you activate the Sandevistan, after a period of time, a little EMP burst will trigger around you, and you also take less incoming damage while that EMP is charging at the start of combat. Now, because we're grabbing these perks, if you didn't want to run the Gorilla Arms, you could run the projectile launch system and grab like Doom Launcher. Obviously grab Jailbreak for the improvements to the projectile launch system, allows you to send multiple projectiles out, and then you can grab the launch capacity override so you can really buff the projectile launch, because it is really overpowered in the 2.0 update. But because of the way this build sort of functions and using blunt weapons, we've gone with the Gorilla Arms for the body perks, because Gorilla Arms will link with the blunt weapon perks that you get from this line, like Wrecking Ball and Quake to slam on the ground, and the Finish Savage Sling, so you can pick enemies up and throw them around, which is just like generally fun to pick enemies up and throw them. The Ripple Effect is also a must grab here, because you gain health for every enemy hit with Craig, so it's like free healing, which is perfect for this build. We're also grabbing all of the painkiller perks for healing, plus Adrenaline Rush. So with Adrenaline Rush, anytime you use, say, a blood pump or a healing item, you get like an overheal, so you have an orange part of your health bar, which will heal above whatever your maximum health is, which is really great for this build that focuses on melee and being in close proximity of all the damage that's coming towards you. And the reflexes line, we're really just grabbing like the dash skills, as we want to be able to move fast in combat. We want to be able to get nice and close to enemies as fast as possible, as well as move around quickly and gain the extra mitigation chance from some of the secondary perks that come from this line. In the cool line here, we are mainly just grabbing Road Warrior because it's cool as hell that you can slow down time while driving, as well as Focus for the pistols and Deadeye. So at level 3 of this perk, you'll unlock Deadeye mode, which gives you an additional headshot damage and weak spot damage, plus no bullet spread. So you can just hip fire this and hit targets in the face from any range, and then you can buff this with something like long shot so that there is no damage fall off. So even with a pistol here, you can deal an insane amount of damage from range just by having Deadeye active to be able to deal that damage. For our cyberware, Gorilla Arms is the main one here. Now, we've already touched on why this is important, but Gorilla Arms are going to be your main sort of damage dealer, unless you're going to do a little bit of range with the pistol, but you'll use the Gorilla Arms mostly. Now, as mentioned, you could go the projectile launch system, but that's entirely up to you if you want to go that route, because you can still knock people out without having the Gorilla Arms, but the amount of damage you get from the new cyberware in 2.0 is just sort of worth having the Gorilla Arms for that melee combat, plus the perks from blunt weapons. In the skeleton line, we're really just focusing on things that increase your overall armor, giving you technical ability attunement for that armor, so you can take a lot of that damage in melee range. Universal Booster is good, but Dense Marrow is an absolute must to increase your melee damage, and which even though it does increase the melee damage stamina cost, you can get stamina back in other ways. Your nervous system, we're grabbing Reno Trigger, so you get movement speed as you enter combat, so you can get close into targets as fast as possible. It's also helpful when you're activating the Sandevistan to have that movement speed so you can get there quicker. And then in the other systems, we're using Pain Editor, Chitin, and the Peripheral Infernus just to reduce incoming damage. In the legs, we're going a Leroy's Ligament system to increase our movement speed again, so you can get into that melee range. Circulatory system, we want to make sure we stay alive, so something like Biomonitor that auto heals you, the Blood Pump because it's a great healing item, and then the Micro Rotors to increase your melee attack speed, all great things to pick up. I'm also using the Oracle Kuroshi here with Body Attuned for the extra health that comes with that, and the operating system, we are obviously using the Sandevistan. It is up to you what Sandevistan you want to use, whether you want to use the Apogee or the Falcon Militech. I'm using the Falcon Militech one here because because it gives 10% extra damage, the 15% crit chance and the 10% crit damage. If you go the other option with the Apogee, you get 10% headshot damage, 9% crit, and 13% crit. Now, because it's only headshot damage with the Apogee, that's why I'm going the Falcon, because 10% damage across the board is better than just 10% headshot damage. You could go the Apogee route for that 10% headshot damage because it links perfectly with how we're using Focus and Deadeye from the Cool line, but that's up to you. I just think that the extra 10% damage is a bit more flexible, so you can use it for other things rather than just having to always hit the head all of the time. The weapon slots aren't too important here, right? Like, as long as you're using some sort of a pistol, you are good to go. There's some incredible pistols in Phantom Liberty expansion. You can also grab a melee weapon here that you want to use, like, say, a bat or some sort of a hammer until you get the Gorilla Arms. Once you've got the Gorilla Arms, you're probably just going to use that. I wouldn't really worry about switching to something else. And then you've obviously got your Sandevistan stand equipped and you're good to go. A couple of tips to note while leveling out this build, because this is it's an expensive build to put together, right? And not only in terms of being expensive for perks and attributes, but also in terms of Cyberware being able to get the Sandevistan and Gorilla Arms and focusing on that. While you're leveling, you may want to go into the shotgun or LMG line of the body tree, or because we are also leveling out the reflexes skill, you could go into those perks there, just some sort of extra options in the early game, because it takes a long time for Cyberware to really get going, especially in 2.0. So don't worry about, like, if it takes you a long time to put this build together. You know, create something in the early game that works, using weapons, using whatever, and then use that free reset of attributes that you can use if you do want to, or you can just change your perks whenever you like, because changing your perks now is free, so you don't have to necessarily reset your all perks. You can just go into the shotgun line, and then when you don't want to use shotguns anymore, just refund all those perks for free and then change your build in that way. As long as you're getting the attributes correct, you should be fine. One thing to call out here is that when you're looking at clothing to wear, there are pieces of gear that will still actually give you armor. So you can get headpieces that give you armor, as well as chest pieces, and there are other passive you can get from them as well. So just keep an eye out for these clothing items that will actually give you a little bit of extra armor, just to give you that little bit extra for this sort of melee build that can really use it. But let me know what you think about this build. Thank you guys for watching this video till the end. Thank you to our members for supporting the channel. My name is Norza, and I hope you have a great day.
Cyberware got nicely expanded upon in Update 2.0 and Phantom Liberty. It is very much possible now to devise builds mainly based around each of these 4 items, and whilst this is a ranking video, not one of these items are definitively bad. It's just that some are more useful within their appropriate build, or just work better out of the box without the need for so much optimization. With that in mind, let's explore each of the 4 armed Cyberwares, as well as when it's best to use them and what you ought to group them with. Down at the bottom, we have the Mantis Blades. Now again, that is not to say that they're a bad item by any means. They have some really cool abilities. It's just that within certain blade builds, they're often beaten by a standard katana, and therefore there's less specific point to using them. Both weapons, of course, benefit from the same perk tree, that being blades. So the Mantises do have some much more brutal finishes. Don't get me wrong, they are badass to use in combat, and are arguably the most stylistic of the 4 armed Cyberwares. In fact, whilst all models of armed Cyberware come in 4 types: regular, thermal, electric, and toxic, the Mantis Blades actually have a secret 5th model, which can be acquired via 2 different methods. First way is by heading to the Jinguji clothing store in City Center, speaking to Zane just once, then heading out and coming back 2 days later. This will trigger the Bullets side quest, where the store gets assaulted by a cyber psycho whom you need to hold off until MaxTac show up. When they arrive, we'll meet Melissa Rory, the cyber psycho from the 2013 trailer, who has since joined up with MaxTac. Speak to her afterwards, and we can ask about her blades, which were apparently discontinued in 2069 as they can potentially cause mental damage. Of course, we can demonstrate how deranged we already are by stepping out of the store and then attacking this entire MaxTac squad of not just the 4 regular members, but many, many more, as well as any other law enforcement that'll come from the immediate 5-star wanted level. I'd argue, in fact, that it's the toughest fight in the entire game. though if you do manage to survive long enough to take down Rory, you can loot her Max-Tac Mantis Blades. They've got a very sweet, unique design, sure, but are statistically identical to the basic model. So, worth getting? Yeah, sure. I mean, they are a unique weapon after all, but if you're just going for them because of the blue design, then you may also prefer the electric model of standard Mantis Blades, which are a more glowing blue. Equally, there's a much easier way to get the Max-Tac Blades in Phantom Liberty, via one of the two ending paths. All you have to do is inform Mr. Hands of the coordinates to the Max-Tac convoy, and you'll afterwards receive them as a reward. Now, the biggest thing about the Mantis Blades is without a doubt the unique ability unlocked in the Relic skill tree, that being for charged attacks to allow you to leap towards targets from up to 30 meters away. Very, very useful for slightly more spread out combat encounters, not only letting you reach enemies quicker, but also take less damage as you move around the battlefield. Unlocking the Blade Finisher as well, you'll often be entering these small, badass-looking quick-time events, where again, you can't take any damage, and also regen a little bit of health after doing them. Now, the optimum build I found that this worked with involved speccing into the central Adrenaline Rush tree from body, air dash and blades of course, and reflexes, and then the Edge Runner tech tree for more cyberware. They pair okay with their Berserk, but are best used with St. Everston. For Netrunners, it's kind of pointless going for anything other than the monowire, but we'll explore why later. To back up the Mantis Blades with cyberware then, you of course want to improve your overall melee damage. Dense Marrow is great for this, but does increase stamina cost, though this can be mostly negated with the Adrenaline Booster from the circulatory system, rewarding an insane quarter of your stamina back every time you take out an enemy. Stabber is also good for improving crit chance, and Cockatrice Eyes if you can afford them. Though personally, I chose instead the absolutely goated St. Everston Rejuvenating Axolotl, which I explored in the iconic cyberware video. Armor and damage is also crucial given how up close and personal we're going to be for this, with Chitin and Proxy Shield serving as some optimum pieces for this style of play. All in all, that'll give you a really decently powerful build, even for very hard. It's hyper agile and allows you to leap from enemy to enemy. The thing is though, this is kind of what put Mantis Blades at the bottom, at least for me, is this perk, Flash and Thunderclap, which grants strong attacks with all blades the ability to leap towards targets. Yes, that means the unique ability of the Mantis Blades is no longer unique. Now, granted, I don't think the range with swords is quite as good, and with an extra relic point you can make Mantis Leap attacks cripple opponents too. But all of this is a bit null and void when we compare the two options in practice. And this same fight went so much smoother for me when using the Byakuya Katana rather than the Mantis Blades. The relevant perks and cyberware just synergize so much better with the Katana, it seems, and turn you into some kind of fruit ninja pro, as opposed to some little stabby stab insect person. Now, you could of course use the Mantis Blades in a less optimal build, say something with guns and just have them as a backup emergency melee weapon. Which could make sense, yeah, but there I'd say Gorilla Arms are probably your better bet of the two, for reasons we'll come to. Again, Mantis Blades are not bad, they look awesome, they're just the least uniquely useful of the four on this list.
Well, let's see what Steve told me. With big boots, awesome! Charge! What? Even my goodness, they're crazy about conquering territory. How good do a no-man plan to avoid them? That's the barbarian, a civilized barbarian. Spark, enter the first stage of civilization. Use tools and work in teams. Then enter the second stage of civilization.
Next up, we have the projectile launcher, and this is certainly much more optimized than it was pre-2.0. Back then, it was either underpowered trash, or with the track darts, a literal click to incapacitate enemies one at a time button. Whereas now, it's more of a rocket-propelled, superior alternative to grenades, at least when optimized. Though much like grenades, this thing operates within the equipment slots, and can't be used endlessly, instead needing to recharge between uses. Therefore, unlike the other ARM mods, the launcher can't per se be used by itself as a primary weapon, though that's by no means a bad thing, and taking on the role of explosive support means it's a decent choice for the more generic, less specialized builds, though Brother Arms still probably win overall in that battle, but we'll come to that. Whilst the projectile launcher can work well in any guns blazing ranged kind of build, here's what I found to be very optimal, though granted you could definitely vary this. Most importantly though, we need to spec into both the equipment and cyberware nodes of the tech tree, since it will allow us to unlock the perk Doom Launcher. This massively buffs the projectile launch system with a ton of recharge boosts for essentially endless usage, especially in more intense enemy-heavy combat scenarios. Additionally, with that, you'll be wanting the Burn the City perk, which converts our stacks of Pyromania, an explosion damage increasing ability, into even more grenade or launcher charges, especially if we are getting caught in our own explosion radius too. Of course, with a build so chaotically explosive, the only way it's going to work in harder difficulties is to be backed up with a shit ton of firepower and damage negation. Edge Runner will help on the cyberware fronts, whereas for weapons, I'd recommend speccing into shotguns and LMGs, seeing as we're going to have to level body anyway for the health boosts. Also, Obliteration just sort of fits perfectly with this explosive kind of vibe. Of course, you could also go with assault rifles, since we'll be speccing reflexes anyway for the air dash, though that of course isn't going to be quite as tanky. Of course, you'll also want the extra projectile charge from the relic skill tree, and the ability to fire 5 shots at once, which is absolutely insane for this build. With cyberware, you mostly want to improve armor and damage mitigation, so things like Neofiber, Chitin, Pain Editor. Then if you are going heavy on guns, especially LMGs, a combination of Immovable Force and Shock Absorber will give you a huge reduction in recoil. Berserk would have been a great choice for this build pre-2.0, though now it's of course melee only, so not at all useful here. We haven't spec'd into intelligence at all, so Cyberdeck is off the cards, and it's okay with Sandevistan, but your weapons are going to suffer from the time slow effect. So in fact, this is a fairly good build for which we can buy up the Chrome Compressor, exchanging your OS entirely for simply more cyberware to boost your attack and defense. All of this combined synergizes into this kind of not quite unkillable, but incredibly tanky and explosive build, which thrives in bigger fights especially. Just so long as you keep darting around, firing bullets and shooting explosives from your arms, you'll get this endless feedback loop of regen, provided you don't take too much damage at once. Build the Chimera Core into the Firecracker mod as well, to make one of your guns fire explosive rounds, and maybe a Ready Steady one too, to go with Immovable Force and reduce that recoil to practically zero. Only problem with LMGs is they do absolutely burn through ammo, which of course you can craft, but I still found myself going through all of it in bigger fights. Also note that whilst the 5-shot charge effect of projectile launcher is really great, you can't use items whilst firing those 5 explosives, but you can still take damage. So check your health bar before using that one, because you could very well wind up in a terrible and inescapable situation. 5 direct hits from this thing though should be enough to take out even the skull level enemies, though annoyingly there are some foes that can deflect these explosives, such as the Voodoo Boy criminal activity boss, Iozarin, whom this build was fairly useless against. I mean, great at taking down the rest of the base, I just really struggled against her because she could dodge all of my bullets and my explosives. Still the optimum build for the projectile launcher, I'd say. Very powerful, very tanky, but it does have its blind spots and might need tweaking for certain fights. Though of course let me know in the comments if you have a better, more optimum way to use the projectile launcher.
With Self, you can see your credit change, and the Self Visa credit card can be your next tool for building it. With Self, there is no hard pull or inquiries on your credit. Keep an eye on your spending activity, and remember to always pay at least the minimum balance on time. You don't need to put any additional money up front. Your credit builder account secures your Self credit card. Accounts in good standing can have the opportunity to increase their credit limit in time. And the best part? Your Self card can be used everywhere Visa cards are accepted in the US. Eligible customers with a credit builder account can order the Self card today. Join a 1 million building credit and savings.
place, we have the monowire. Though bear in mind, for any Netrunner heavy Cyberdeck sporting tunes, this is probably going to be the ultimate best ARM cyberware for you. This thing has literally been designed to synergize with hacking and is really a core component to the Lucy kind of build now. Mind you, pure net running can be so overpowered with just quick hacks now once you get to the later game that you may find yourself not needing this, and may instead want the Griller arms for reasons we'll come to next. Otherwise, monowire users, you're going to find pretty much all your buffing perks within the hacking skill tree of intelligence, kind of randomly scattered about, same as these launchers in tech. For instance, in the quick hack Q tree, we can unlock a monowire finisher, which looks awesome and restores health and RAM when used. Indeed, monowire now is heavily designed to synergize with Cyberdecks and allow you to hack more by giving you more RAM. Basically, Netrunners don't just have to be highly stealthy boys anymore that stay far away and hack through cameras. Don't get me wrong, that's still a viable and arguably more fun way to play, but tankier hacking builds which jump into the action with a monowire can indeed work, and very well, come to that. I shamefully didn't touch on this enough in my Cyberdecks ranking. I think too much on stealth capabilities there, and I absolutely intend to make up for that with more comprehensive builds for each deck in other videos. But right here, right now, here's some tips to get the most out of the monowire in your build specifically. So whilst it's absolutely best used in a net running build, there is firstly a potential reason to use it outside of that. This being its relic skill tree ability for charged attacks to administer a controlled quick hack, which you can load on multiple formats. Basically, triple movement, cyberware malfunction, reboot optics, or weapon glitch can be used on enemies even without a hacking build. This can be useful against groups if you have the data tunneling perk to spread the hack, but one of the best cases for this is triple movements against bosses, holding them in place and making 1v1s a lot easier. It's something defo worth considering for a whole variety of builds. But as for net running and an optimum use of monowire, here's what I do. Spec mostly into intelligence and tech, 20 in each, then 15 reflexes for air dash, and anything else into body for more health. Buy up Edge Runner and any other perks which will boost your cyberware specifically, then grab these basic body perks for some bonus health regen. This is going to be useful for overclocking. After that, sync one to quick hacking trees, ultimately aiming for the full 4 Q slots and spillover 2. Bear in mind though, the more perks you get from here, the less relevant monowire will technically become. In frontal cortex, we obviously want to boost RAM with stuff such as X-Disc, and then the expensive but awesome COX2 is going to enable your hacks to deal crit hits. Much more powerful for the ultimate hacking build, but again, going to render your wire less necessary. So possibly consider the RAM reallocator, depending on how you want to do this. After that, we're going to be getting up close a lot, so you want any boosts to health, armor, or damage mitigation, really. Shock and awe, though, is also a super useful defense mechanism for this. And then for the infinite overclock hacking loop, you're going to want to go with Biomonitor, Blood Pump, and Heal on Kill. Then the best Cyberdecks to use with the monowire are either the Militech Paraline or Biotech Sigma, since both have specific buffs for the monowire. The Sigma specifically works great with Contagion and Overheats, granting bonus wire damage to enemies affected by these hacks, whilst the Paraline can offer bonus wire damage, which scales with how much RAM you've used. Makes a lot of sense if you think about it, since that's when you need the monowire most. Other decks, of course, can work with this too, though won't be optimized as specifically for use with the monowire. Now, provided you have this selection of perks, hacking enemies will be just queued for quick hacks onto every foe, with the later ones being a lot cheaper, thanks mostly to the Cube Mastery perk. This should, more often than not, take out most enemies by itself, with the monowire being our perfect cleanup tool for any stragglers, not only tidying the battlefield, but also further boosting our RAM as it does. Again, with the Biotech Sigma, making one of the 4 hacks in that queue, Overheat or Contagion, will make our monowire even more effective, while queuing legendary Synapse Burnouts onto one enemy every 5 seconds is going to keep the effect of overclock going indefinitely. Short Circuit and Cyberware Malfunction is also a decent combo, with the latter being very cheap, but also exceptionally damaging, and synergizing with Short Circuits. Overall, this build works brilliantly in most situations, though I definitely recommend staying out of wide open spaces. Lose too much health at once, and overclock mode won't work properly. We won't have enough health to hack, and the entire perfectly balanced endless loop will crumble. Monowire does certainly help to keep all of this afloat in tighter situations though, and it's the perfect support tool for one of the most powerful builds in the entire
you will find them Mimi.
Name's
Name's V.
Thanks for the intel.
Things will look differently out here. Keep your head on, city kid.
Y'all beat my brother? Y'all beat my brother, Barry? Thought he was on the way.
I beat him back.
He ain't here, is he? Yeah, all the lights still on?
Yeah.
Yeah, he ain't came yet. That's crazy. Which means he was gonna get dropped out somewhere else anyway. Look at the girl out here with the knife, just in them heels, stumping in the marshlands with the skirt on and a bulletproof vest. She out here getting it. Look at her.
Killing it.
The shades on. This motherfucker here funny. Out here parkouring it up. Appreciate you, little homie. Now we on the phone. Pull up. Pull up real quick. Got them boys getting down. Is that it? Nice, one more. Where you at, buddy? Where you at, buddy? I don't Camo out here stalking niggas. Damn shiny, look like ex-military too. It is what it is, y'all. Oh shit, we got a Hummer. I always wanted to ride a futuristic Hummer out here in the streets. But this bitch looks hydraulic system. Decent. Oh shit, it's the Tesla truck. The Tesla Home 3. Okay. Hold on, let's see how that drifting skill. You see, I'm being the law right now. Every time I do a mission, I don't need to holler at the boy yet. Damn, I got one in the middle of nowhere. I'm not doing that. Let's go back over here. Hey, that man's smart, because we were going to die. Trying to stay in the truck survived though, so maybe it would have been good. I don't know. That might have been epic. Window gone. Okay, come on now. You're right. The home truck. Boy, y'all some hoes, I swear. Under the windshield. Damn, I fucked it up. Stuck in traffic. Where am I missing? There's some shit y'all see on the dark web or some shit. Damn, Lord, I'm doing y'all job right now. I ain't got time for this shit. Y'all come in here and do y'all job then. If you want me, you're gonna have to come meet them niggas too. Come on up in here and get the niggas y'all supposed to be fighting. That's crazy. That mission done? Mission complete? They don't even know where I'm at. I done been took off. That's tough for y'all, man. I be out here just doing the damn job.
In Santo Domingo, a crime has been reported.
Roger, dispatch. Standing by for coordinates.
Code 0. I repeat, Code
I wonder
0
who
in
they
this
shooting at,
area.
because I ain't
Units
nowhere near
resume
them.
normal duties.
Hey, I was gone for a minute, now back for another. Let me paint you a picture. Champagne in the winter, snowflake in the summer, no cake at the dinner. Can't hang here to chinner. Stay praying on the sinner. Whoa, whoa, if I make it, it's a winner. Put a break on my shit, let it bang in the whip. I swear it's for nothing. Hey, daddy, keep on tapping that percussion. Hey, flag or you the shot that keep a legend. Hey, would I even say it if you wasn't talking me though? Hey,
Come out with your hands in the air!
Who else shooting? Alright, this mission right now. The piece of your face came off. Look at me.
making my decisions.
Put the radio back on after that, huh?
Changing the engine.
It's 555 78 E9. IC 78. Okay, and we're only getting one of these. IC 7855. IC 78. Alright, cool. IC 7855. 78 E9. Cool. Oh, how the fuck did that work? Oh, that's wrong. Still in the net running shit though. Open up my skills. My Shinobi rank is a 21. A 21 out of 60. I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get that. That's guaranteed. A headhunter. I'm on my way. Net running nice. I'm not a bad net runner. But it's solo. I don't use LMG as a blunt weapon. I should get a blunt weapon just for that. Neutralize the enemies with assault rifles, SMGs, and blades. Perform certain movements, dashing, dodging, vaulting, climbing. I'm all about Shinobi. And net runner. But apparently I'm a headhunter. What's crazy is alright, so let me see what we got to offer now. Sharpshooter, aim speed, improved weapon handling, blade runner, 50% less cost for attacks with blades. Unlock a blade finisher. Oh, that's crazy. Unlock the ability to dash in mid-air. I've been wanting that too. That's crazy. That is crazy. I barely use aim, so we're gonna go ahead and go blade runner first. Yeah, I'm done. Sorry.
In the flow up, yeah, that's me talking, cranks in the street, that's me walking, flash on the beat, yeah. Snap on that ass, snap throw it back,
I got $261,000. Let me show y'all something funny. $261,000. One of my missions is to pay off my debt. Bro, when I tell you my debt probably something like $21,000. All I just get is man $2,100. I mean $21,000. All I get is man his money back. Oh man. Let's go. Apparently I'm not done yet. My street cred crazy. What's down here? Do me big homie. Bro, I promise you, if you don't get up on my... There you go. Y'all almost got killed. Great. Big homie, I swear down, look, you think he drunk? You trying to do something? You can get the business right now. Let me put the sexy. What's a sexy radio station? Dark Star, that ain't sexy. That's this one is. Okay. I mean, I can see myself being a minister this so long. We might come back to y'all. Never mind. You know what I'm saying? Type of vibe I'm feeling right now. I ain't calling y'all loud. Just saying. As soon as the song came on, it felt sexy for putting niggas in jail today. Purchase a vehicle. Shit, why not? Purchase a little vehicle real quick. So I stopped robbing niggas. Thank you. There go car dealership right there. Oh, there goes some house right there. Hop out. Boy. Oh! I ain't gonna lie. I got arrogant for a little bit. I was walking them down, I forgot where we was at. Met the boys at the gas station. I had already killed the man bad enough. I edited the whole clip on this man. Yeah, you better ask for forgiveness. Get a kneecap or something. Get mine right there. Alright. That's how you gotta handle these bills. Easy. They're just buying a car off. Okay, that whole look clean. Show me this again. Oh, 38,000. Okay. 75,000. Damn, boy, they really trying to take a nigga check, ain't they? It's 100K right there. I might buy the 100K. Shit, I don't know what car I want right now. I know y'all charging too much for some cars though. Oh, that's crazy. Can't eat that bitch. Shit, I'll get in and grab this hoe. Good, why not? One part. That bitch looks sexy too, boy. Yeah. Good at purchase. Ain't get no more of my money though. That was too much money. Oh, don't do that.